Hey everyone, Ratty Reacts here, and today I'm here with part 2 of my Coco Moon album reaction slash review. Sorry, it had to be 2 parts. The video ended up way longer than what I was expecting. I think I mentioned that in the first part. If you want to check the first part out first though, click right up here. It'll be right up here in the right corner. Anyways, let's get straight to it. Let's do this. Okay, so this next track is The Tornado. It is track 6. Let's see where this one goes.
Weather on my mind. The wind was picking up and howling louder all the time.
I feel like this album is really focusing on violins. It's really putting an emphasis on strings. I think it did that in one of his last albums too. Like I think what was the album? Cinematic? Yeah, Cinematic. Which that album also had a lot of movie themes in it, which this one seems to be having. I can't tell if they're some of these songs that they're actually based on movies or books, but they really seem like they might be. Which again wouldn't be surprising given Owl City's history with his songs.
And then the nightmare started. It got deafeningly loud.
Whoa.
Every fiber in me screamed out, but I couldn't make a sound. The whirling of a vortex, a violent carousel. It sounded like a freight train was dragging me to hell.
That went crazy quick. What just happened with his voice there? That's completely different for Owl City from what I've heard. For him to just keep vocals like that in the song, he was obviously really stressing them. Like they're really scratchy and stuff. I think it's just for a stylistic choice. Wow, I just wasn't expecting it. It really catches you off guard to hear his voice like that, because normally it's pretty clear, it's clean. Overall, it's made to sound as good as possible. I think this just probably shows that he really cared for this album, if I had to guess. If he was willing to put in that sort of emotion in his lyrics. That, or he just didn't care to to do a retake, but I doubt that was the situation. I bet he just really cares for this song and wanted to really convey some emotion in those lines.
Yeah, I tried to tell myself it's always darkest before the dawn, so I kept hanging on. I blinked a tear back cause I felt lucky to be alive.
Now that I think about it, because I think Adam Check Please was based on his real life experiences, I wonder, because some of these ones that kind of sound like they're movie plots or something, I wonder if some of them are like more closely tied to his life. Like this one sounds like maybe he was around like some tornado, or like some tornado destroyed someone he knows town or something like that. Again, it could just be nothing. It could just be something like a story that he's just writing on the spot, or not on the spot, but that he's written. But again, it could be his real life. It might just be based on a movie or something. Back with another synth solo, I think. Okay. That was The Tornado. Again, I feel like this album just isn't hitting with me too much so far. It's not bad by any means. I just don't think it's anything special either. This song is just kind of I don't know. Again, I don't think it's too special for me. Although I do want to say that the stress vocals down when he was singing like towards, I think it's the middle / beginning, somewhere in there, when he had the stress vocals and was really relaying his emotion, you could like tell it felt like you were in the tornado almost, because with all like the or with how fast it kind of hit you and how much emotion he's portraying in those lines, which I want to say that's probably what he's going for, is to really kind of show the force of the tornado through his song. All right, let's get to the next one. Okay, so this one is Vitamin C. Oh, and it has a music video. So this is the first one I think that's had yeah, it's the first one that's had like a music video that's not just a lyric video so far. Um, I'm excited to hear this because normally songs when they get music videos, I feel like they're kind of special, or they were um better received by the people that were listening to it. So I'm excited to hear this one. Let's get to it.
So heads up, Nancy, don't get antsy while I'm working on my tan. Cause it's crystal clear to me, a weekend in Waikiki is what I... Cause when I get kinda salty, I need some vitamin C. I gotta go now, cause I'm a little worn down, and I'm a little burned out, as I need a vacation. Aloha, let the good times roll, cause when I get kinda salty, I need some vitamin C.
Okay, so I think it's interesting the contrast between what he's singing and what's going on in the video, obviously, where he's obviously just in like 2 feet of snow right here, talking about how he's on an island. It's definitely something that he's not actually doing right now in the video. It's funny. I like how he did that. Also, of course, the play on words, vitamin C. There's vitamin C as in like vitamin the letter C, and then there's vitamin C SEA like the title. And I assume he's relating C to, like he said, island earlier, so it's like the sea surrounding an island. I don't know, kind of goofy so far. I don't mind it.
Sitting calmly by a palm tree.
Also, I really like the synths. I keep on saying that throughout this album, but the one that like just started happening again when the verse started, I'll replay it.
Kinda salty, I need some vitamin C. Sitting calmly
That.
by a palm tree with a lemonade in my hand. Sunburn, I'll catch all the rays I can. When my muscle gets low, and that's when I know I have some vitamin C. So BRB.
Okay. I'm liking this guitar solo. Another synth solo.
And I think I'm gonna stay forever.
Okay, so that was Owl City Vitamin C. You know, I don't think this song really hit for me. I think it struggles with the same thing that some of these other songs have been dealing with, where it just gets really repetitive. And despite because I don't think his music style isn't unique to its own extent, because like he has these switch ups and stuff. He changes up the song a lot while he's doing it. I think the chorus was just really repetitive in this one. I don't think the lyrics weren't like especially good for me, at least. They just felt a bit off. They didn't feel like they were anything too special. I gotta say though, again, when he does these synth solos and guitar solos, they tend to sound really good, and in no exception with this song. That was definitely my favorite part of this one. Hopefully I'll like these next ones more. Okay, so this next one is Dinosaur Park. Let's get to it. Sounds interesting. This already sounds like something that would just be playing in the background of like Zoo Tycoon or something, or like maybe Planet Zoo, or maybe even at a real zoo. Like just some like background music on either like a safari cart, or maybe you're in like the admissions area or something. I don't know.
A concrete green brontosaurus has a subtle glint in her eye, 'cause under the moonlight, when the moment is right, under the moon.
Is this talking about a gas station? Is that what this is talking about? Is it, what is it, Dynaco or something? The one, because there's those gas stations. I feel like I haven't seen one in a long time, so I don't quite remember right, but I think they have like green dinosaurs or something, green concrete dinosaurs outside of them. If so, I don't know, that's funny.
Like things come alive in Dinosaur Park long after dark. I wonder what happens there.
Okay, I don't think he's talking about a gas station. I think I was just very wrong on that. Yeah, let's get back to it. I don't know.
When no one's around, sometimes I just feel the air. I will never do statues bloom. I like things they do. Honestly, in all my heart, that hilltop of beasts. When I gaze up at that T-Rex,
That was a weird piano
it's like he's
switch for a
staring back at
second.
me.
It's doing it again. That doesn't sound right to me. I think he's trying to be like interesting with that. I just don't think it fits in well with the song, where he just kind of like switches the back piano or the background piano. I don't know. Something about that just does not sound right.
Yeah, those old soldiers, still my heart in dreams on the moonlight. When the moment is right, on the moonlight, things alive.
That part before like the flute or whistle came in towards the end sounds like it's from a Coldplay song. Maybe it's like Clocks or Viva La Vida. Not like, it doesn't sound like identical or anything, but it kind of sounds just a little bit like it. At least that's what I was thinking.
What do dinosaurs talk about when they're alone? Before the sun.
The way that he's been talking about like these dinosaurs and stuff, it's almost as if it's like a, what is it, Night Before the Museum type situation. Where the dinosaurs are coming to life at night when nobody's around. Just like the artifacts and like all of the, what were they, like wax statues or something of all the people of history that were in Night of the Museum. They came to life at night. I wonder if that's kind of what gave him inspiration for this song, or at least for some of these lines, because that's what it sounds like to me.
I can only imagine the strange things could happen up on top of that hill at night. In Dinosaur Park.
I think I've been liking this last like minute or so a lot more than the rest of the song. Something's a little bit more different about it, a little bit more unique. Maybe it's the way he's singing it, or maybe I just didn't notice the first like few times the chorus went through. I don't know.
Dinosaur Park.
Okay, so that was Dinosaur Park. Yeah, it was alright. I thought this one and Vitamin C, I think, have had the lyrics that really just don't, out of all the songs so far, I think their lyrics just don't sit with me right the most. While again, they're all kind of cheesy, I feel like these ones are a little especially cheesy, or I don't want to say cringe, because I don't think it's really necessarily cringy to say these kinds of things. Like, he's just trying to, I don't know, be fun, be a little goofy, from what I can tell. Yeah, it's just kind of okay. I probably won't be coming back to this one along with some of the other ones on this one. Okay, this next one is Learn How to Surf. This is the 9th song on the album. We're getting close to the end here. Hopefully we'll have a strong finish for the end. I would love to have that happen. I wonder where he's even going to be going with this one. Learn How to Surf. Maybe it'll be a Surf's Up reference. Isn't that the Penguin movie? I think it is. Honestly, that'd be kind of cool if it was. Let's get straight to it. Oh, disc scratch.
I spent the summer in Santa Cruz, and I met a blonde on the beach with lots of quirky tattoos. She had that old movie quote, "We're gonna need a bigger boat." 2 tiny waves on her toes and turtle tracks on her collarbones. I asked her what they meant, and this is what she said: you gotta go with the flow, cause the tides always turn, and sink or swim, diving in is the best way to learn. Kick up the sand, cause your tan proves you live through the burn, and when you wipe out, it's gonna hurt. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf.
Hey guys, this is me from the future. So when I was editing this part, I realized I was a little less emotive, but I do really like this part of the song. The the synth riff that just happened and the chorus I really like. I think I mentioned that later on in the video, actually, after the song, but it was getting really late when I was filming, so I wasn't showing as much emotions to it. I just wanted to let you know that I do really like that part.
I met a blonde on the beach with lots of quirky tattoos. She had a shark on her arm, a pirate shredding the gnar, an octopus wearing shades, and seagull wings on her shoulder blades.
Wow, I just thought of this. This song is reminding me a lot of my shirt. It's I don't know if you've heard of Cove, but they're a clothing brand, and they focus a lot on, like, from what I know, saving the ocean. So their shirts are like ocean related, and I was just thinking about it. My shirt is really maybe you got to see that, I don't know. But my shirt, I think, has a shark on it or something. I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny. I just thought of it just now.
I asked her what they meant, and this is what she said: you gotta go with the flow, cause the tide always turns, and sink or swim, diving in is the best way to learn. Kick up the sand, cause you can't, cause you live through the burn. How to surf.
He's killing it with these synth parts. Now this part is awesome. Wow, okay. That was Learn How to Surf. That one's definitely rejuvenated me a little bit after all these other ones that I didn't really care too much for. This one is definitely rejuvenated me. I like this one a lot more than most of the songs on this album. Right now, as of now, I think it's Kelly Time, Adam Check Please, and then Learn How to Surf for my 3 favorites, by far. This one is, again, I really like this one, especially especially after listening to the ones that I didn't like so much. Now I'm excited to hear the next 2 again. Not that I wasn't excited to hear the ones before, but now I'm really excited. Hopefully they're more on this level. That'd be awesome for me, because more songs that I like, the better. I would love to add all these to my playlist. All the ones that I like, of course. Okay, so this is the Meadow Lark, which is the second to the last song on the album, or track 10, if you will. I'm curious how this one's gonna go. It's gonna have a hard time competing after Learn How to Surf. Let's get straight to it.
Upon a winding forest road, I met a soldier far from home. I saw he was my enemy, so I aimed at him and he at me.
I don't know how many of you have seen or played the game Battlefield 1. The new one, of course. It takes place in like World War I or World War II. But there's a scene in the opening tutorial where it cuts into a like a scripted, played out scene where there's like 2 soldiers. One's like a German, and I think one's from the United States, and they're just aiming their guns at each other. And then, since they're the last ones on the battlefield, they just both put down their weapons. They give it up because they just don't think it's worth it at that point. Everybody else is already gone. That's what this reminds me of a lot.
Lowered I my rifle down And as my foe took aim at me, I showed him yield on bended knee. He faltered and shook with fear, and from his eye he wiped a tear. His gaze was as a brother's bond. And then he turned and he was gone. Oh, oh, ooh, oh, oh, ooh. If I should live to see more days,
Oh, I thought it was about to end there for a second.
I pray the Lord to guide my ways.
Okay, so that was the Meadow Lark, which again is it's the 10th track on the album. I think that one was a lot better than some of the ones in between Kelly Time and Learn How to Surf. What are those tracks 5 through 8? But again, I think it's a little too slow, or not too slow. It's a little repetitive. Like I said earlier, about a minute before the song ended, I thought it was ending right then, and then it kept on going. I think the last bit was just unnecessary. Overall, though, I like this song. I think I'm gonna add it to my playlist, listen to it a bit more, see how I feel about it later. Really, I might like it more after I listen to it a few more times. I might like it a little bit less. It's probably my 4th favorite so far on the album, right behind Learn How to Surf. And then, yeah, overall, pretty good, not too bad. Okay, so this is My Muse, the 11th and final track on the album. I'm curious how this one's going to go. I think it's the shortest song on the album. I wonder if it's just going to be like a basic outro track, or if he's going to like try to combine everything, or if it's going to be its own topic altogether. I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's get started.
I remember when I saw you at the movies, and to me you were a stranger in the room.
I think it's a little interesting. He's talking about the movies when this whole album has been like movie adjacent. It's all been like stories and stuff that he's been telling. In the way that like the production is, it's almost cinematic in a way, which again, that falls back to his last, I think it was his last album, or at least one of them, Cinematic. That's what the album was called, where it's just all these like movie related themes in his music. And then here he is talking about movies again in his song.
But to my surprise, I met your eyes, and that was when I knew there's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you. Yeah, without a doubt, I took you out for coffee. We sat for hours at a table, maybe 2. But how I love you more and more, and after all that we've been through, there's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you.
So this song seems to be slowing it down a lot more, even the past ones. I mean, there's been a few slow songs on this album. This one particularly seems to be especially slow, almost like it's a ballad. It might even actually just be a ballad, which I guess is fitting for closing an album, slowing it down a bit. Let's get back to it.
I love the flowers in your footprints and the sparkle in your eyes. It doesn't matter if it rains or shines, 'cause I'll be by your side. For the record, you're my treasure and you'll always be my muse. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you. I'm not one to worry much about nowhere else I'll rather be than home with you. I love the springtime.
That's another part where I thought the song was going to end, and then it picks up right afterwards. I've noticed a theme of that happening, at least for me, where it's like I think it's ending and then it picks up again. That's been happening 2 or 3 times, I think, now on this album, maybe more. I might have not even really thought about it too much beforehand.
There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you.
Okay, that was My Muse, and that was a pretty peaceful and melancholy ending to the album. So before I get into my final take on like the album as a whole, I want to put it out there that everyone's opinions are valid. If you like this album, that's great. If you don't like it, that's also great. I think it's just good for us to, as a community, respect everybody's opinion on an album or song, however they feel about it. because everybody, they like things differently. So anyways, I'm gonna get straight into my overall take on the album. So as a whole, I don't think it's not terrible. It's not too bad. I was expecting a little more though, because when Adam Check Please and Kelly Time came out, well, they weren't like my favorite Owl City songs. I really like them both, especially Kelly Time. I really like Kelly Time. I've listened to it quite a bit now. And it just, a good chunk of this album really just felt kind of like a lull, like in between. I was talking about this earlier, but in between Kelly Time and Learn How to Surf, tracks 5 through 8, they kind of all blended together for me. They fell into this trap where it's like the songs just keep on going. They're really long, and I just kind of wish a lot of them were like a minute shorter, because they're just repeating the same things over and over again, it feels like. Past that, I think the album, all the lyrics, I was talking about this earlier on, it's cheesy throughout, which is fine. I don't really necessarily have an issue with that. There's a couple songs though where I think it is it gets a little bit it's like the lyrics just feel so like there wasn't a lot of thought put into them. Not to say that there wasn't, it just, that's kind of what it sounds like to me. I think Vitamin C, for me, I think that might be the worst. I out of all the songs on this one, I think that the lyrics for that one really just, they didn't really fit right with me. But there are some good things though that I really wanted to focus on, like the synth solos throughout the album. He did a really good job with those. Those were some of my favorite parts of the songs. They helped like bring up some songs that I didn't like as much throughout. And they really just kind of brought an extra life, extra burst of wind, burst of air into some of these songs, where it's like I would have not liked them, or I would have liked them a lot less if they didn't have these synth solos mixed throughout them. And the same thing goes for how he switches up his music or like in each song. He like has a lot of switch ups and stuff. I think those also help do the same thing, where they help kind of bring in a second burst of life into songs. Although there's a few songs that I feel like it was a bit repetitive with the switch ups, like you do it like over and over again, which I think it would have been better, but that just kind of falls down to it just the songs being too long, in my opinion. I gotta say though, I think his vocals are always really good. And it's no different in this song. Even for the Tornado, where it's like his vocals are really strained and stressed, you can tell that he was doing that on purpose to really just convey his emotions and really just like show the force of what I assume was the tornado. I feel like there's another trap that the songs fell into, is that they were trying to be like too magical, almost like Disney themed, which on its own isn't really an issue, but it felt like it was overdone throughout the album. Like it could have done with a little less. It's kind of weird to say that it could have done with a little less magic, but I think it could have done with a little less magic. So overall, my final take on it is that it's an okay album. I probably won't be coming back to it other than Kelly Time, Adam Check Please, Learn How to Surf, and the Meadow Lark. Those songs I do like. I will be listening to them more. And actually in that same order that I mentioned are how I like them. I like Kelly Time the most, and out of those four, I like the Meadow Lark the least. Again, just make sure that you're respecting everybody's opinions. That'd be great. And I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm hoping that this video goes through well. It's my first time doing a full album review. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.